Hey everyone, how's it going today?
Hey Tim.
Hello,
How you
hello.
doing?
Okay, so Ross is out today, unfortunately, sick. So Justin is actually going to be taking over this meeting. Justin, do you want to you want to go and take over?
Yeah, I think Tim's going to provide some updates that we potentially have in the pipeline here, but really wanted to take the time. We get some support tickets here and there, and we definitely hear some concerns sometimes, and so we really like that channel for those specific items. But for this call, we'd love to learn more about what's working, what's not working with sales, any niches that you guys are finding are successful or you know maybe not ready for the AI chatbot market yet. And yeah, just trying to learn from each other and bounce ideas off each other. And so Tim, I know we've had a call before. I wanted to see if you wanted to maybe kick it off with any calls or ideas you've had this week that have implemented well.
Me, Tim, not Tim.
Yeah, you Tim.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I've had a good few calls actually. Just today, had another meeting with a company, which is an advertising company, who want to use an AI to support their staff with the initial onboarding of client queries into their business. So basically capturing data and informing those users about how they can use their services to advertise products. They do out of outdoor advertising, billboard advertising. So it's a competitive market, um, and they see the advantage of being able to basically triage those inquiries with the AI to then pass on warm leads into the team, so the team can then follow up. So that was very encouraging, and that's we're just going to create a bot for them and then roll it out onto their website. And another one I've had last week, which has got confirmed this week, was for an exhibition space. So a big exhibition that's happening here locally in Yorkshire, in the north of the UK, and they want to use the bot to tell everybody about what visitors can gain from being attendees at the exhibition, sell tickets, and also how they can get involved and listen to speakers, attend workshops and discussion panels and things like that. So the good thing about that is now that we have the 24-hour scraping, as they add a new speaker into their roster and their website gets updated, it means then obviously the chatbot is updated, and so information is being imparted to people who are having that conversation literally on a daily basis. So that's quite exciting as well.
Yeah, super exciting. Congrats on those. Those two markets are really niche, and I think those are very interesting use cases, and I think perfect for the functionality of the bot. I guess one thing I'd like to ask, and this is a question we get a lot, is how are you, without giving your pricing, and I know each customer is different, how do you go about talking about pricing? Do you approach it from like the investment perspective of like an investment in $400 a month, $800 a month, $1,000 a month will yield you this ROI and save you this much on customer support and BDR support? How do you usually approach that?
I've had our website up from an early stage, so which is basically publicizing our prices. So we have a monthly standard rate of £95 a month for a standard bot, which is one bot with I believe 10,000 credits. And then we have a pro plan, which is £295 per month, which comes with a larger amount of credits and I think 3 bots. And then we have an enterprise plan with prices from £995. So again, a much more enhanced level of credits, 50,000 credits. And that's basically a done with you service. So we haven't had to have the conversation too often about, explaining how much cost benefit a client's going to have, because we just do the AHA demo, and the demo when it's a pre-trained bot, and we can push that out there and say, look, this is all of your content. This is how it's going to behave in the wild. They're just like, wow, they're blown away. So it's, we do get some pushback from time to time. There are a lot of companies who are, we're not ready for AI. AI is going to take all our jobs, and we're not going to get behind it. And I just posted on LinkedIn today this new talk from Mustafa Suleiman, who's talking about how he believes AI is going to evolve into a new digital species now, and how everything is going to be available conversationally to us, which just plays into our whole sort of ethos of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve. So it's not always, we're not always trying to push water uphill, is probably what I'm saying.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, Tim, anything on that? Tim Bramlett?
You mean just like just any thoughts on the direction AI is going, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately it's hard to say, right? But I think one thing is very clear, which is, and Tim Bennett, you posted a lot about this, to be honest, which is that, for now we know that AI is a fantastic way to replace that frontline conversational interface, right, that a human is doing today. And it is perfect for that exact use case. Will there ever be independent AI agents, like completely independent of a human and doing things? I don't know, maybe. But definitely for those types of use cases that we're talking about, they are perfect for that kind of thing. And there's certainly even more use cases beyond that where they're augmenting humans. So yeah, and I just saw that on LinkedIn, actually just liked it. Love your content on LinkedIn. So try to remind me when you post some of this content, and I'll go in and like it and make comments.
Well, yeah. And Tim, by the way, thank you so much for sharing. You really appreciate your insight. Finn, Alex, I don't know if we've met before. But yeah, great to see you on the call. I'd love to just ask, what you guys are working on. If you're happy to share, if you're in the earlier stages, it's totally fine. This is a open forum.
Yeah, sure. I can say hi. So my name is Finn. I'm based in Sacramento, California, and I'm brand new. I'm starting an agency. I just saw a video about Stammer, and I got interested. And I wanted to just check it out some more and hear, get a sense of the community and just what it's actually like to use it. So I'm here to learn.
Awesome. Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you find out about? So you saw a video on YouTube?
It just showed up in my YouTube feed.
Okay.
And it was what I liked was that it talked about how it was, it contrasted Stammer with some of the other tools in terms of being designed for the latest generation of AIs, and so not as structured, in terms of flows and stuff like that, which is something I've been bumping into with some of the other tools I've tried. So I really was intrigued by that.
Yeah, Tim can go into the more technical side of things, but yeah, we're really, built from the ground up too for white label. So for agency, the agency standard is already built in, where a lot of our competitors, we're seeing them try to integrate it after the fact, and it's just not the same. Are you familiar with what kind of niche you're looking at, or your target market, or still figuring that out?
Right, I'm still figuring it out. I'm mostly talking to small businesses, solo entrepreneurs. I'm really trying. Right now I'm sort of more finding people that are willing to talk to me and just talk, like, let's take a look at what we can do for you. And really, I'm most excited about what things that are like amplifying the impact. So a lot of times I meet small businesses or solo entrepreneurs, they have a message, they have a product, they have a framework they're trying to get out there, and just trying to give them the ability to amplify how much they people they can reach, and also adding something more interactive so that people can, customers can try out what they have to offer. That's the idea that I have.
Gotcha. One really just quick little tip, and Ross and I went over this in a office hours from maybe a few months ago, is you want to find obviously these small businesses that are making money, and so they can afford your service, first of all, but secondly, the best ones are the ones running ads, because you want to be able to go to them and say, hey, you're already investing in ad spend. Why don't we actually have it land on a page where the bot can really utilize and just make sure that your money is being efficiently spent. If you actually go on Facebook, the ad center, you can actually look up different types of businesses that are running ads.
Gotcha.
And you can actually kind of see, one, that typically means they're monetizing and that they're, they have money to spend. And two, if you can make that argument like, oh, well, we can make your ad spend as efficient as possible if it's coming, and
Right.
your customers or your leads are not missing information that's not on your website or they're not able to find. That we found has been a really successful way for people to start.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause like you said, they're already spending money at that point. So
Exactly.
right.
And you're helping them make sure that every penny that's spent is most efficiently used. So yeah, I think it's one of the top 12 reasons people leave websites. They can't find information. So
Gotcha.
the question, why make them look? Just have them type it out.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, of course. Cool. Yeah. And we're happy, by the way, if you want to discuss, different niches, different ideas, please hit us up in Discord. We're always happy to help.
Okay. Thank you. We'll do.
Yeah. And yeah, great to meet you, Finn. And Alex, are you just starting out as well, or?
Yeah. So I'm I've actually been speaking to Ross and attending these things since end of October last year. I just was in a situation where I wasn't able to start. And I've literally just been briefly speaking to Ross again because I'm literally looking this week, next week. I'm starting to build my website out and get everything kind of get up and going. So yeah, just been listening and learning for months.
Gotcha. And where are you based?
Just outside London.
Okay, I could have made the guess, but I'll leave it open. And do you have a particular niche that you're looking at now, or?
No, not necessarily. I'm at the moment. I'm actually like I do freelance web design and stuff, but I'm contracted to a managed service provider. So I'm actually trying to work with them to pinch out some of well, not pinch them out, but kind of use them as a leeway into a load of businesses straight away. They do a lot of work though with recruitment agencies, which as AI wise, they are massively adopting lots of AI and automation in that industry. Just trying to figure out how a conversational AI can work in that way, because a lot of their stuff would, I feel like I'm kind of waiting for the time where you can kind of integrate with not say other platforms per se, but you can pass these variables through and get information from looking up about job postings or candidates and stuff like that to kind of get that quick feedback on stuff. So, and then, yeah, the other side of it is that you actually gave me a list of leads, which I've got to go through for the chiropractors.
Oh yeah. We
Which,
talked on Discord, right?
yeah, we
Yeah.
did. And that is purely because my mum runs a chain of chiropractic clinics. I know that I do a lot of extra work for them and help her out. So I kind of know that industry quite well. But again, it's not necessarily how to implement it on that one. It's kind of just making sure it ticks those boxes of you're not giving medical advice, and it's just sort of trying to make people understand necessarily, yes, chiropractic can be used to help you if you've got this and that, because obviously in the UK chiropractic's quite different to what you guys in the States have. It's kind of got a slightly different perception here, so yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of at.
What kind of perception?
So I feel like the way we kind of do it, I mean, the guy that actually owns the clinics trained in California. That's where he learned it, and he's always kind of it's growing here. But I know that we always talk about how in a lot of countries that you have a chiropractor, like you have a dentist, you have an optometrist, you have a doctor or GP that we call them, and you have a chiropractor that you always go to. Whereas here, it's kind of people generally, there are people that are on that boat, but sometimes there's a lot of skepticism here, I would say, because firstly, they find that because it's not recognized as a fully what's the word, like NHS approved, so our National Health Service, because it's not approved, it's only just in certain areas being approved by them. The practice of osteopathy, which is obviously very similar to chiropractic, is getting, that gets all the attention from the NHS, and that they're like, oh yes, go, we'll refer you to osteopaths, we recommend you go and see them. So I think there's some perception, almost like chiropractic is falls into that alternative therapy kind of thing. And then again, I think we're fortunate that we have a lot of access to free healthcare in here, and chiropractic treatment is quite expensive as a general thing. So yeah, it's those hurdles. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the clinic my mum has works for, you got thousands of patients coming all the time. They've got two clinics that have got, they've got 6 or 7 chiropractors that are working pretty much all day every day. So the work is there, but it's just, yeah, trying to get others clinics to especially in the UK, but that might be a case of, for me, that might be where my horizons are broadened, and maybe it is a case of trying to work with chiropractors across the world, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'll address the first question you have about, making sure that the bot is not giving medical advice. We have a bot deployed on Rocco.co, ROCKO.co. It's a crypto lending platform. They haven't launched yet. They have a wait list up, but we programmed that bot very specifically not to give financial advice. That's like the last thing you want a AI chatbot doing. And it will even tell you not to buy cryptocurrency. It will say, no matter what you do, and they've really run it through the ringer, like probably over 100 different times in different ways of trying to break it. Thankfully, I've not found one. So it is possible to, like, you have to be really specific in that base prompt and telling it like you absolutely cannot give medical advice.
Yeah.
I think the scheduling tool would be great for that. And I also think the qualification lead, or the qualification function for leads and vetting leads and understanding their different the potential leads ailments, and then qualifying them down to what type of appointment they need would be a really good use case.
Yeah.
And Tim Bramlett, let me know what you think too on any other use cases there. I really like that market though. I think it's a lot of chiropractors in the States, at least. I don't even see they have websites. And so they're not really tech enabled at all. You could potentially double down with both a website and a chatbot, and really, really get in there with great LTV. And Drew, also Drew. Drew, any feedback on that? Drew's also a member of our team.
Yes, sorry, I'm outside right now, so that's why I typed in the chat. But we do have an entertainment lawyer that we just worked with as well to provide what he calls light legal advice, which obviously he can't tell you what to do or how to do it case by case. But we've tested that one pretty tough too, and it's performed well for him so far. He's pretty happy. The one question that I have, since you have a direct connection to a chiropractor, I don't know if office is the right word, but do you think that you could maybe give them a trial run of this first version of a bot? Say, hey, I'll give it to you for free. Let's test it out to be able to see how it works. Once you're able to get it up and working, you can then leverage that office or that business to other clients to be able to say, I made it work for, business X. This is why it will also work for you.
Yeah, completely. I mean, I basically do all their tech stuff. I do their website and that anyway. So yeah, there wouldn't be a problem at all with getting in there as such, getting my foot in the door. So because the other thing that I would really like to do on that front is there's a couple of governing bodies here that control the chiropractors as such. One of them in particular actually they team up with a lot of companies, so be it like payment processors or people for medical supplies, and it's like, oh, if you use it, even for things like bookkeeping and accounting, it's like, oh, use this software and mention us and you get a discount and whatnot. That was something else I thought, boom, sort of go through that and just say, and they can essentially advertise for me to all their members. Because one of them in particular, you in the UK, if you're a chiropractic, you have to be registered with them to the General Chiropractic Council. You can't practice without being registered to them. So it's kind of like an instant in. But yeah, it's talking to them and selling it to them to then say, oh, give it out to essentially post it out to every chiropractor in the country and say, we're now offering this partnership with X company. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge lead source that you have at your fingertips.
So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Yeah, I was briefly speaking to Ross and Tim in our Discord chat the other day. I'm one of these people that's really finicky about business names. And they're just like, oh, I can't work out names. So yeah, I'm doing that, but I'm building my website without a name at the moment, and then I will throw that in at thelastminute.com. And so yeah,
That's
I'm hoping to just run with it next week. I've already got the company that I work for, the IT company as well. The owner of that has just said to me, let me know as soon as you've got a working demo for me. And then and I think I was saying to Tim as well, even though like I was thinking almost making sub accounts within sub accounts. So I was like, I could say to this company, say they're called IT Company X, I could they could put all their client bots in their sub account and then rename the branding so where it says powered by instead of my company, say to them, right, well, I'll white label it for you and go powered by IT Company X, and then they've got their mark across every recruitment.
Two layers of white label, basically.
Yeah,
deep in the inception, right there.
Yeah, and I just thought that's again, it's just so both, as said, looking at like the chiropractic council or the thing, it's kind of getting people to get the stuff out there for you, in a way. And I've said that to the IT company. I said, like, look, I'll either give you better rates or I will do some kind of like the affiliate kind of thing for you. So as long as your customers are paying me, I will give you a kickback all the time. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, sounds like really good deal flow as well with that company and that partnership. So really cool. Really excited to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And
just got to think of a name.
That's good news, Alex. And I'd just add to that as well. I found that the partnership model is probably the one avenue that is going to give you scalability really quick. So if you can find a niche like that and you can work with a company that has associates or members and things like that then can push out. I know, Tim, we've spoken about how we might do that for some of our clients, but we suggested that we might just set up, rather than having a white label of a white label, we would actually create another instance of the platform, and then we as an agency would run that for them, so that it didn't mean that your white label solution was getting too messy. So you would run distinct platforms, and doing that way it made
setting up setting up a Stammer for them and just being
And
their
then
kind of worker.
and you'd run it, and that way you can then control the URLs and the links and the Stripe payments in a lot cleaner way, I guess.
Yeah. And you, if like, just from your perception, if you were doing that with another agency, are you very open with them and saying, oh, look, we are using Stammer and we will brand it and run it for you? Or do you still kind of give them the perception that it's yours?
No, I mean, it depends who we talk to. But I mean, really, we've spoken to Ross and Tim about this in the past. And we consider we're a partnership and it's a team effort. And the dev team just happens to be in the States. We're here in the UK providing services out to our clients. So they don't always need to know about the tech, and that possibly can get hung up about it. But actually, at the end of the day, we want to give them a solution. If there's partners there, they want to make extra revenue. So it's how they get involved in that revenue share as well is probably more interesting to them about rather than the technicalities in the back end.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's good to know. I said there's always that worry, and I possibly see it as a bit of I'd say an old school mentality of, yeah, somebody's going to find out what you've got and how you're doing the trick, and go and try and do it themselves. And if they could do it to an acceptable, they may not do it as well as you, but if they're happy with the standard, they could do it in house with. Especially when I said I'm working with IT companies. Not that my particular partnership would go that way, but if I say approached other IT companies, what's to make them go, oh, we could actually work this ourselves? And I suppose then that comes down to in my head, your sell point is your prompt engineering, possibly.
Yeah, it's your skill set. It's your skill set and your niche and how you develop the solution in your particular way, which will be different to the way I do it or someone else does it.
Yeah.
But I look at it, I've always sort of had the analogy of, if you think about WordPress and what WordPress is to website development, essentially we have Stammer, and Stammer is the solution for chatbot and conversational AI development. And it's just a platform that we work with to deliver that solution to our clients. And of course, everybody could jump into the back end and try and tinker with it and do what they want to do. But I think our expertise is where we're delivering and solving our customers' problems rather than trying to overcome the tech and create the next new thing. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to make our customers' lives easier.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
And yeah, Tim, thank you for that context. And also, Alex, I mean, frankly, I love this little stat here. So there's 1.2 billion domains that are registered. Active websites is about 250 million. So if you look at it like that, it's a pretty big market. It's literally 250 million websites, and almost none of them have, I mean, it's some very small percentage have an AI chatbot, but a lot of them didn't build their website, and a lot of them probably don't want to learn how to use Stammer. So if you can provide that service and make it seamless for them, they'll stick around.
Yeah. I mean, literally just before I came across Stammer, I came across it whilst researching stuff to put into a stack, because I essentially was going to try and do that kind of all-in-one model for something like chiropractors, and just approach them and go, look, we've got this little stack for you where we recommend using possibly this software for your diary management and your health records and stuff. We'll build you a website, and we can do this kind of email marketing, like things like Active Campaign and possibly white labeling that. And again, I looked at the whole go high level side of things, and that was go high level just got out of control a bit. So that's how I came across it. So yeah, I would still look at doing that same model, but just not having too many accessories on the army knife, and just keep it to the website with a chatbot. And because that's the biggest thing. I mean, I know this industry would be the booking side of things, but the problem is there's very few, if any, of the booking systems that integrate even with things like Zapier and that, because they lock themselves down because of the whole security of medical records and patient data and stuff inside of their platforms. So I know the one that I use, well, that I use at the chiropractors that I do stuff with, has zero API access to anything or anyone, and that is their justification for it. They just don't like it, and they're a pretty big company. So
Yeah, that's a great point. Like in the States, we have HIPAA compliance, which I think probably some other terminology there, but maybe scheduling is not the right use case here. And maybe it's just answering questions and then pushing them to call the front desk and get through the channels that are compliant. So yeah. Great call out on that.
I think like the one thing I think I would look for is essentially possibly like a callback feature or something like that, where it's like, okay, we'll get someone to give you a call and discuss. I mean, there's another chiropractor that I do a little bit of work for. I help them with stuff, and I saw an email in their inbox today, literally somebody saying, "You're the specific type of chiropractic that you practice. I don't know if it's right for me. Can I book a like?" And I've seen they've replied and just said, "Look, we'll book a 5-minute conversation with you tomorrow." But that's the kind of thing where I think, if you've got a conversational AI, it can sort of delve a bit deeper and possibly go, right, this is what it can help with. This is what it is and isn't beneficial. And yeah, go down that route.
Yeah. And we're definitely working on the ability for you guys to define kind of custom things like that can suit your use case perfectly. And this summer, I think you're all going to be incredibly impressed with some of the things that we're working on rolling out, basically. So definitely stay tuned.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I've been following you guys and hanging around since October. And yeah, already I'm sort of pretty blown at how quickly you've rolled stuff out and just the general feedback and communication you guys have is
appreciate that. Yeah. We'll be here literally every single week where you guys can talk and give feedback, and we're scaling things up massively. I mean, we're building the dev team, they're getting an office. So yeah, stay tuned basically. And sorry, I interrupted you. What were you trying to finish?
No, I was just going to say, as a comparison, I was trying to do some stuff on a platform today, and they've cut all their communication. That it's
right.
It's literally like they've got chatbot. It's intercom, so it's AI first, then it's it can't help you, we'll put you through, and literally, it's I was trying to run a report to do payroll, and I can't. It's faulty. It's not working. It's not giving the stuff up, and I've had to send a chat message. And it said, someone will usually get back to you within 3 hours. And I've messaged back and said, if someone can't call me in the next sort of before the end of close of business today, I'm going to move platform, because I just can't have absolutely no contact for something essentially like payroll. And yeah, I haven't had they haven't even read the message in intercom. And that's a UK company with UK offices, with UK staff. And I just think that as a comparison, I literally thought of you guys earlier when I was typing it. I just thought the fact that I can contact you guys and get a response sometimes within minutes, not even and get the help. And we're even in different time zones. And yeah,
we're all over that Discord. Now, sometimes I have to step out for a little bit because obviously I'm directly involved with the building aspect. But I literally have a thing that pops up every day that says check Discord to remind me to go in there and make sure everything's been cleared out or answered. And Ross kind of does the same. And yeah, that is a key. Just as some additional info on my background, I mean, I was in the enterprise product space. I was a product manager, actually at one point training product managers to build out enterprise products. And that was the one thing that you have to have that support. You have to talk to your customers if you want to build a great product. And that is one of our biggest core philosophies. And when I met Ross and kind of the rest of his team, we found that we have the exact same product philosophy, and that's why we even decided to kind of build this thing. So we will be here every week, multiple ways to kind of contact us and communicate us and get feedback to us. Actually, relatedly, one thing I want to mention for Tim Bennett, the private files feature is live in production. So that is working and out. I've verified that private files that are uploaded to the knowledge base are now only visible to the logged in user. Also, a
Just
lot of
checking
you,
that, Tim. It's awesome.
great. Also, a lot of you, more than I ever expected, were asking for the chatbot widget auto open feature. I'm butchering the name of that, but that is live and in production now. Also, the Facebook Messenger integration is technically live, but keep in mind it's not going to be usable for you all yet because we're still going through this massive approval process with them. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully that goes well and gets cleared up soon. We are working on that. And that is really it. We also improved the web scraping technology that, scrapes web pages as far as it's only getting the relevant content now. And that's so important to you guys because it's going to make the chatbots behave better, right? Instead of all those irrelevant links and, menu items and stuff in there and footer stuff, none of that will be in there. It'll just be the relevant content of the page. So that is it for the major updates, but there's a ton of other stuff going on behind the scenes, and we're gonna be trying to share a lot more of that behind the scenes kind of going forward on LinkedIn and Twitter and stuff like that. But that's it for me.
I'd just add as well to that, Tim. I know you spoken in previous weeks about the base system prompt and getting that right and concentrating on that. And we've been spending quite a lot of time with different clients refining what we do there and using the template that yourself and Ross have created in the resources guide, but adapting that out and putting that out. And the difference in the types of conversations that we're now having via the bot for the different organizations who are using it is brilliant. So, and just using that to instruct different things. So, if it's doing data capture and it's taking full name, well, you only ask for the name first, and then once they've given that, ask for the email, and then only reply with the first name so that you're person in that conversation and talk in the language that the person wants to type in. So if they're asking a question in French or German or Dutch or whatever it is, aside from English, reply back in their native language. And doing all of that instruction in that base prompt and making sure that it's done in a clear, distinct way has been really helpful, and it's really worked well.
Great to know. Yeah, one big effort, and I think I've told you all this in the Discord, but if not, I'll do it again. But one big effort I'm working on right now is an end-to-end tutorial on our docs.stammer.ai. And this will be your start here area when you want to build a bot. But it's good to know that, because you're right. I mean, that base system prompt is so key. And as long as you start with the base system prompt that works and kind of iteratively, step by step, build onto it and test it each time, you should be good to go. But once that tutorial's done, we'll be advertising it, and everyone can just go to that in order to know how to build a bot and add on all the additional functionalities, as well as things like custom functions once that's available to everyone. But yeah, great to know. Great feedback. Thanks, Tim. Okay.
Cool, guys. Well, yeah, sorry for the late start. Thank you again for sticking around. Finn, Tim, Alex. Yeah, really stoked that you guys are here. Drew and Hassan, also team members. So hello to you guys. And yeah, we're available on Discord. Please let us know if you have any questions. If you want to just kind of spitball ideas, happy to help. And yeah, we want you guys to be successful. So cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Talk to you all later.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Have a great week.
Cheers.